Hello, it's that time of the week again to play some more terrible bets. I'm Burt Green, this is the Burt Locker, and it's primarily an MMA show, although I do discuss other sports, whatever I'm really interested in talking about, in all honesty. These are just the best, my personal favourite betting lines on this week's card, UFC Vegas 77, headlined by Holly Holm and Bueno Silva. So let's get started. So the first one is going to be a fourfold. I do like putting a cheeky fourfold on once in a while because, last week, UFC 290, my 13-fold accumulator missed by one fight. Kirk lost 29-28. That was the only one that went the other way. I mean, I lost £1, but it felt like I lost $6,500. You know what I mean? Anyway, the quest continues. So, my fourfold accumulator this week, I'm going for a couple of methods here. So you've got Francisco Prado coming in. I've got him to win by TKO or KO. I do think that whilst he slipped up in his debut, Prado is still a killer. If you check his record and just have a look at his highlights, he is an absolute monster. Ottoman Azatir, he's not terrible, but I like the KO there for Prado. I think that we're going to see the real kind of emergence of Francisco Prado. Then I've got Alberto Duraev to win by knockout against Jun Yong Park. He's actually an underdog in that one, which is interesting because obviously anything can happen in MMA, but when I was looking at their two styles, one thing that I did notice is that Duraev, he does use the low kick very, very well, low calf kick, and he uses it to open up the overhand rights and lefts. And one thing that I noticed that Jun Yong Park does, he does leave himself open to those low kicks. He doesn't. It's been exploited on him in the past, which is why I was picking him anyway. I was picking Duraev anyway before I saw the odds, and it turns out he's the underdog as well. So you're getting plus eight. You're getting 8.5 to 1 in English on Albert Duraev to win by TKO or knockout. So that one's probably my favourite bet on this card overall, if I'm honest. Just for the sheer value of it. There's a lot of value in that bet. Victoria Dudakova, killer from Russia by submission. I've got in this one. It's one of the safest bets on the card. It's why you're only getting just better than even money on it. But a little bit of background. Victoria Dudakova, she's been on the regional scene. She's like gold medaled in. I'm not sure what in. She's gold medaled in something like judo or sambo, whatever. Either way, she's got killer submissions, great wrestling. She's undefeated, 6-0 out of Russia, and she can't really find fights on the regional scene. So she went to the Dana White's Contender Series, won there, and now she's coming in, into the UFC proper, as it were. She's a real problem. So we're going to see how far she gets, but I mean, she could be the next big thing, honestly. This card might be one of those ones where you point to in 8 years' time when she's been the champion for 6 years and go, yeah, you remember where she started? So yeah, submission for Dudakova. That's a relatively safe bet. Then you've got Azat Maxim by submission. Now, Azat Maxim, he's another guy that's going to be... It's interesting to see his debut here because he's coming out of Kazakhstan. On the UFC stat page, when you look down the card, or at least yesterday when I was looking, it had it had very little information. Had him down 0-0, no reach, you know that kind of thing. But when you actually look into him, he's 16-0 out of Kazakhstan, 12 finishes at flyweight. That's not easy to do. He's an absolute monster. The submission is what he normally goes for. So that you're getting 2.5 to 1 for the submission on there, which honestly isn't bad considering how likely it is. But you put all those together and I've got 262.88 to 1. That's worth £1. Always. Then you've got my MMA scratch card, which I like to do every week. I go down the entire card and just go win-loss. It's like doing a scratch card for £1, only you get to watch some people punch each other in the face at the end of it. As I said, last week's one only missed by one fight. This one I think will miss by considerably more than that, but it remains to be seen. So I'm going to take Ashley Evans-Smith to win the opener against Aline Perez. That's probably going to go wrong. The first fight went wrong in my last accumulator. I've got a feeling that one's going to go wrong as well. I'm going to take Alex Munoz to take out Carl Deaton. Alex Munoz, he looks like Michael Chandler in a wig. So I'm taking that. It could be Michael Chandler in a wig. You don't know. We don't know. Never seen them in the same place at the same time. So I'm going to take Munoz to win that. You've got Azak Muksam, just discussed him to win the fight outright. Genaro Valdez to win outright. Makuzel Costa to win outright. Victoria Dudakova to win outright. Nazim Sadikoyev to win outright. You've got Chelsea Chandler to win. Albert Duraev to win. As I said, I do fancy him to take out Jun-Yong Park. Francisco Prado to get the win. Jack Della Maddalena to get the win, obviously. I mean, he's against somebody who's... JDM should win that fight. If he doesn't, that's an issue. And then Holly Holm to win the main event. And that comes in at an absolutely terrible 2,826.58 to 1. It's worth £1. And that one is going to get nowhere. I have no confidence in that one whatsoever. So look, let me know in the comments, who are you going to be betting on? What are your accumulators? But I always love seeing terrible bets. Put your terrible bets in the comments. Also, if you could do me a favour, just hit subscribe, because obviously I do a lot of this content every week. So if you want to keep up to date, hit subscribe, and I'll review all these bets next week. So until then, keep all those odds long and those bets terrible.